Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. We have joining us live in studio, and by the way, one of these individuals has been here with us before, a band called Sauce on the Side, but we have Set the Bar Low live in studio with us. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello. We're super happy to be here.
Gonna try to. We've got the whole band here, so I assume this is the whole band.
Yes.
You.
Yeah.
We was trying to make sure I've got everybody's mics up here. But and actually, you have not only are you going to play live for us today, but you have a brand new single that has this been heard on the radio yet? The song that we're going to be playing?
So. No, I don't believe so.
So we have another world radio premiere.
We love that.
Very good, very good. Well, before we do that, let's start with you because you've been here before. Mm-hmm. Let's go around the room, and if you can each tell us who you are and what you do in the band, get to know you a little bit.
I'm Martin. I do vocals and I write the lyrics.
All right. Welcome back.
I'm Zoe, and I play guitar and do backing vocals.
Okay.
I'm James, and I normally play guitar, but today I'm playing banjo.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. And you know what? I think that mic there, hang on a second. There we go.
Testing.
Oh, found you.
Testing.
Welcome. And who are you?
I'm Daniel. I play drums.
All right. Very good.
What's going on? I'm Joel. I play bass and I have voice cracks apparently.
It is the morning, and
we love Joel.
Way too early.
I'm going to assume that you're all not necessarily used to playing live at 9 a.m.
No. We've played at 4 a.m. in the middle of New York City before.
Well, the show ended at 4.
Awesome.
That was terrible, yeah.
Terrible. Wait, is this a story?
It is, yes.
Oh, let's hear it.
We like stories.
We like stories, yes.
We went on tour with Sauce on the Side, actually, last year. It was the tour that I think when we were on the show year, we were talking about it. And we went on tour, and we played this show in New York and Brooklyn. And the show started at 12:30 in the morning. That was the start time of the show. Yeah,
that's not unusual for New York.
No, it wasn't, and it was actually the best attended show we've ever played in New York.
Oh no!
Wow!
But there was a homeless man who went up to Zoe, our guitarist.
Well, no, it wasn't a homeless dude. He was just wearing the weirdest fit. He had one of because in New York they all have those khaki sort of trench coats that they all wear with whatever.
Yeah.
And he had a drink in his hand and flip flops on his feet. And at that time, I had been working at a coffee shop, and I had been going to work at 4:30 in the morning. So I think I worked that morning.
Yeah.
So we drive to New York. I'm passing out, and I have this habit of falling asleep at venues. So I will you'll see me on the floor. I fell asleep at a couple of bigger shows at the Middle East downstairs. I'm sleeping up against, and Martin's oh my God, nobody hit her and stuff. So I'm on the sleep of I'm falling asleep on the floor of this bar, and this dude walks up, the trench coat flip flop dude, and he's your song, that second song you guys play, is it right if I talk to you? I just want to tell you about this song. And I'm okay, yeah, we wrote that, blah, 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 blah. And then he's you know what it reminds me of? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I was we make hardcore music. And I just started laughing at this poor dude. And I thought he was joking, but no, he's no, it seriously, is it inspired by it or something? And I was I don't know. You're going to have to ask one of the dudes. And he was okay, sorry for wasting your time. And he disappeared.
Yeah.
And, just out of nowhere, he was gone.
What if he was Santa?
Maybe. He might have been.
He was looking for that collab.
Well, that's the thing, though. Music is art, and art is open to whatever interpretation you have of it,
true.
Whatever you get out of it. So hopefully he benefited from that.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. Very cool. Are you one of those people who can fall asleep anywhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
I was we saw one of my favorite bands. It was, was it Sangi Sukabog or was it 200? It was 200 Stab Wounds. And I had seen them before in Utah because that's where I'm originally from. And I was in the corner. I was falling asleep standing up, and Martin had to like just be like, "Yo, like we gotta leave soon because it's gonna look weird as me like if I, a 6 foot tall man, is carrying out a 5'1" like passed out woman that's
right.
I can't prove if this woman's like my wife or anything. It's just gonna like have some red flags."
Yeah, no doubt. Well, let's give this a spin. So this is another World Radio premiere. This is called is it Stately Lives or Stately Lives?
Stately Lives.
Stately Lives. Anything you want us to know about this track before we play it?
We recorded it and released and produced it entirely ourselves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we rented an Airbnb in the middle of Worcester, New York, which is just the middle of nowhere, upstate New York, for a weekend. And we all moved in, and we recorded the 14-song record that we're releasing in June, and this is the first single off of it.
Very cool. All right, let's give this a listen. This is Stately Lives. The band set the bar low. Check it out. World Radio premiere. I like it.
Awesome.
Martin, I don't know what you were saying, but you sure meant it.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
Escape
cool.
the sign of true freedom.
And by the way, too, I encourage people to check out the video. I was playing that from YouTube, and I really like the video.
It was shot by our friend Griffin Rompre, formerly of Afterimage.
Oh, okay. Yep, we've had Afterimage on the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool. I'm going to watch that again later, and I like the song, and I like the... I like there's a subtlety to that riff that kind of is underneath it at one point.
That's all her.
Yeah. I like that. That's really cool. Yeah, that's good stuff. That is Stately Lives. The band has set the bar low. Do y'all want to play live for us? I'm really curious. I'm very curious to hear how this how your music translates to an acoustic in terms of an acoustic performance. So this will be very interesting.
Yeah, give me a second here to kind of arrange.
Whoop. Yeah, I know it's close quarters. Yeah, feel free to move that mic wherever you need to. But if you're just joining us, we'll kind of let them get situated here. But we have set the bar low with us live in studio, and they're going to perform.
Yeah, we have a few on the record. We have some softer stuff. We all like a lot of diverse, different types of music.
Yeah.
So we wanted the opportunity to get to try and do something that was a lot more lower dynamics than we typically have had the opportunity to do in the past.
Okay. All right. This will be cool. I'm very interested to hear this.
I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick.
And we even have a banjo.
Yes, yes.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assumed as much. Yeah, no, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Can you hear my guitar? Okay.
Yep, I can hear both of you. I gotta turn up the banjo a little here. Okay. All right, banjo's coming through. I can hear the bass, I can hear the drum. Yeah, I think we're good with levels.
Okay.
So yeah, whenever you're ready, this will be interesting.
Yeah, so this is going to be our second single. We're putting it out in 2 weeks. It's a little more aggressive, but it still has some of these lower dynamics in it. It's called Yellow Belly.
All right.
Hear the murmur in the street, feel the spinning in my head, bleeding coming from deceit, another soul that won't be missed, all repeated from the start, another mother's broken heart, there's the God it will be, if there's resource to go to waste. They can find yellow belly rats to steal your life. Steal your life, be forgotten in time. Claim their victories with their tongues. Battles you know never fought. Everybody lives in sin. Everybody's joined the talk. You will fight your father's war. You will cry your mother's tears. You will feel your father's words. You will feel your mother's fear. You will exercise restraint. You will put yourself in chains. You'll apologize for not. You'll think you did nothing wrong. Yellow-bellied rat, masters sail the line, looking smugly at anything innocent they can find. Yellow-bellied rat, bastards take your life, rob you blind, steal your life, be forgotten in time. Thank you.
All right, very good, very good. Yellow Belly. Yeah, that's cool. So that's not the first time you've played it that way, I assume.
That is the first time we played it that way with people around, yes.
No kidding, no kidding.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
very cool, very cool. What you wanted to do too, right?
Yes.
Do you want to? Why don't we go right into the next one while I've got the levels kind of where I think they work.
That works good. It's on the second fret, I think. I'm pretty sure. So this one on the record, it sounds pretty similar to this. It's not acoustic, but it's all clean guitars and whatnot. It's kind of atmospheric. Yeah, I could talk a bit more about sort of the meaning behind some of these songs after we've played them. But
okay,
this one is called "Home Is Where the Heart Gets Spent."
All right.
Love it one to fall.
Very nice. Very nice. Set the Bar Low live in studio with us. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna play another studio track. I'm gonna play this. Let's see. I'm gonna play this song Jamba. And what we'll do is we'll give this a listen while y'all get kind of resituated.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk with Set the Bar Low live in studio with us. Check this out.
Thank you.
Set the Bar Low. That is called, is it Jamba or Jamba?
Jamba.
Jamba. All right, very good. They are here with us in studio. We have the entire band here. And yeah, I like that track a lot. Martin, you were saying something earlier about, talking about you wanted to explain some of the meaning and inspiration behind these songs.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious.
Yeah, so the whole record is, in a sense, the new one that we have coming out. It's not really a concept record, but there is like an overarching theme, I would say. Just kind of, so the name of the record is going to be called Repercussions, and the lyrical content is mostly just about like what happens when we do things without really thinking it through.
Yeah.
Kind of on a personal level, but also as like a cultural like sort of note. And a lot of it, to me, when writing it, it's very kind of trying to express the feeling of like of feeling like we've been here before, and it feels like we kind of have these touchstones in time where like domino effects happen, and then we end up in the same place we were, and then another one happens, and it kind of spirals around, and it's like an infinite sort of chain of events that lead us back into similar circumstances. And I feel like that happens on a wider level with everything, but I think it also happens in your personal life, and like you're gonna repeat like the mistakes that your family might have made, and it's kind of about, I would say, like the first part of the record is mostly about just sort of that being the case, and then the second part of the record is, I hope, somewhat more optimistic and trying to figure out how to cope with that and work through it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking about that last night, sort of along the lines of what you're saying on a personal level. I don't even know what made me think of it. But it was after listening to some of your songs, because I was
messaging.
yeah, I don't know, because I was scanning through them on Bandcamp, and again, I really like what you're doing. But I was kind of thinking about things from my childhood, and I'm also, I don't know if you know this about me, I'm a hypnotherapist, and a lot of the times clients come to me for help with, oftentimes it's basic phobias, things like that, and things that are rooted in our childhood, things that happen to us in our childhood and affect us as adults. And I was actually thinking last night about patterns of behavior from when I was a kid. I ruminate a lot, far more than is healthy. But yeah, and that's probably an element of human nature too. We probably all do it to varying degrees.
Definitely.
But I was thinking about ways I'm different and how I've changed and evolved in ways, but also ways where I feel like I haven't, where I feel like I'm the same person as I was when I was 15 in some ways, and how frustrated I am by that. So I was kind of thinking about that kind of thing where and history repeats both personally and.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it would be fair to say that most people forget that they need to continue to actively try and grow as you get older. I think a lot of people don't realize that working on yourself is not something that is particularly pleasant or that will always come easy, but it's a necessity for happiness, in my opinion. Yeah.
And you also said too, in terms of your lyrics, you were talking about that on a broader scale as well.
Yes. There's a lot of, I hesitate to say like political, because I don't want to.
Well, Martin's a very big history buff. We go to Barnes and Noble all the time, and he finds a really cool book, and he gets really educated on it. Like he read this book about how they train bears to dance. Where was it? In Russia?
Yeah.
And he wrote a song about it. Yeah. It was a really cool thing.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Bandcamp. There's a song.
If you teach a bear to dance.
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of historical things I like reading about, and it often gets under my skin in a way, and I kind of feel the need to write about it to alleviate some of that. And I find it's interesting when you look at history how much you can find the similarities and in your everyday life, and then also in the world at large. It's interesting to realize that figures of history are people, and they had feelings, and that's an interesting, because we kind of glorify them and we iconize them into being this thing, but it's not they were like you and I, but they were in a circumstance in which this is what happened, and I feel like that's very fascinating.
Right. And and things do repeat. It kind of feels like humanity, we kind of go in circles.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I think about the same stuff.
Yeah. And then, and those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And humans are really bad at learning from history.
Obviously, have we read the news lately?
We learn history, but we don't actually learn from it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Humans are pretty ignorant that way, aren't we?
Yeah,
we just repeat it and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to admit. I think it's equally as tough to admit where we've gone wrong as it is to admit where we've gone right. I feel like it's difficult in general to concede our failures, and also concede that it's not all bad and that we have won at times too.
Mm-hmm. And that also can be true on both a micro and a macro level, right? Yeah, absolutely. How long has this band been the five of you? Has it always been this lineup, or?
So it was the four of us. So okay, let me give a brief history.
Yeah.
So when I was in Sauce on the Side, the band I played drums for, we went on tour in 2021. We went to Utah, and I met Zoe.
Well, I booked the show.
Yeah, Zoe
we were
booked the show
friends
in Utah because we had met online, and she booked the show in Utah. And then we started talking, and then we started dating, and then we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we started a band? And me and James and Danny were in a separate band at the time that we decided to not do that anymore. And we went into this heavier thing. And so then Zoe moved over here.
But before
from
that, we
Utah.
had like shows where James was living in New Jersey and I was living in Utah. So I'd strap my guitar on my back and fly with it for the 6-hour flight.
Wow.
And then come to the shows. We practiced like, if we were lucky, 2 times before the show.
Yeah.
And we just had like these dope shows in Martin's basement.
So we wrote our first EP remotely. We all sent each other like riffs and stuff and
Wow.
recorded them remotely. And then we all showed up in a room, practiced once, and then the next day played our first show,
Wow.
Wow.
which was very stressful. And we did that twice. And then after a couple months, James moved here and Zoe moved here. They both moved in with me. And we kind of just started playing shows. And at this point, we were a 4-piece. We had 2 guitarists, vocals, and drums. And then we did that for a while. And then Joel is actually an old friend of James and I. We met when we were kids. And we just got back in contact. And I was like, hey, you should come join my band because you're a good bassist and you're a good dude. And he thought about it for a bit. And then he decided that he was going to come hang out with us.
Best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Same.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's, I think, what is a testament to, that you've really got something good going here is that you were really kind of against the odds getting this band off the ground, right? Because what you just told me and how this came about, it shouldn't have worked.
No, no, definitely not.
Yet somehow you all are. I mean, you used to live in Utah and now you're flying here and everything. And yet somehow, in spite of all of that, here you all are sitting in this room together as a band. I mean,
Pretty amazing, yeah. And
that is amazing.
Also, in that time, we got married.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
So we're a happy bunch, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, now the band can never break up then.
No,
Because-
no Fleetwood Mac business. for us.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Very cool. So you've got a big tour coming, right?
We do, yes. So starting at the end of May, we're going to Canada. And then in June, we are going all over the place. We're hitting, let's see if I can name them, Ohio, Illinois, Nebraska, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, 4 dates in Texas, Louisiana, 2 dates in Florida,
North Carolina.
North Carolina, West Virginia.
Georgia?
I don't think we did get a Georgia. And then New Jersey.
Okay.
That's our
And
tour.
New Hampshire.
And New Hampshire, yeah. We'll have a big homecoming show, hopefully in Milford at a skate park with all of our friends.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Is it difficult to who handles that part of it? Booking all those shows.
Well, so I have a really bad habit. Like, I have all the internet connections. Like I said, I met Martin on TikTok, and during the pandemic, just kind of bored at home, and I really liked music. And the place where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of kids listening to the same sort of music that I was, because it was seen as like devil music and stuff. So they're like, oh yeah, my church said I couldn't listen to that, but that was something I was really into. And I started branching out and meeting new people. So I have friends all over the country that we're going to go meet. Like, I have a couple friends in Texas, friends in Georgia. We just recently played with one of my really close internet friends in Virginia. So I hit them all up, and I don't know, like, whatever is in my brain, like goldfish brain. I was like, James, Martin, Danny, Joel, can you guys follow up on these? Because I just can't remember.
Yeah.
I just annoy people online until they have no option but to book us. I just spam them and they're like, I'll book your band if you leave me alone.
Yeah.
Persistence is what it takes.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And James has definitely been the main guy for this. Like, we've all done our part when we can, but James he's really been the dude he's booked pretty much every show for this. There's like 23 dates that he's booked with no help. And
Wow, yeah.
So he's been a powerhouse with this. With the rest of us are just like doing our part and pretending that we're helping.
Well, it's genuinely a job. Like, people don't realize how much work goes into it. Like, me and Joel, we just recently quit our jobs so we could go onto this tour. My job was really cool at first because I'm really upfront with my managers, and I'd like to say that I'm a good employee. So I was like, hey, just so you know, like, just to preface everything, like, I am a musician. I'm in a band. This is like my life's passions, like goals, and like I play shows a lot. So I'm going to be vigilant, and I'm going to take off all the time that I need so I don't harm your guys' business. And they were like, oh yeah, so cool. And just lately, the business has been kind of going terribly. And so I'm glad I liquidated all my stocks before it started going downhill. But my manager was like, yeah, we're just going to have to write you up because you called out like twice, and we can't have you go on all these tours and stuff. And I'm like, well, I put in the time off and I have the vacation time. So at that point, I was a little fed up. It was after Christmas, and I was like, I want to do music, and if I'm going to go all in with like me and my bandmates, I'm just going to go all in. Like, there's no reason not to. We're on this earth for such a short amount of time, and if I'm not doing something I enjoy, it's not really worth it at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad too that they treated you that way.
Yeah, that's what you get for corporations.
Yeah. It was very unfortunate circumstance, but I feel like it's made it all like there's a really nice sort of pressure to it all. It's like we have like something riding on this that is like I think could be seen as a negative, but I kind of see it as a positive because it's like there's so many people who I feel like look back and wish they had done things they wanted to do. Yeah. And I'm not going to say that this is going to work out and we're going to make it, so to speak, but I'll be able to like tell my kids someday, like, yeah, well, I did that. Right. Like, it might not have worked out, but I did it.
Yeah, well, like, my dad, he also grew up in the same place, born in the same hospital, same little town. He was number 8 out of 11 kids, just because that's the culture over there. Yeah, and he told his parents, he's like, I want to be a rock star. And his parents looked at him and were like, no, no, you're not. So he tried to have all these bands and stuff, and music's something he's wanted to do his whole life. And I had all this equipment, and it just seemed kind of like a broken dream because he got married young, and like he absolutely loves my mom and loves my siblings, but like I always feel like there was a part of him that missed out on being a musician. But I was very like thankful and like just very grateful because he gave me all the tools that I needed and had the stepping stones for like so he could basically live vicariously through me, and I'm like forever grateful for that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Does he still play?
Yeah, he
does.
Honestly, like he taught me how to play guitar, and like his riffs and stuff bleed through into like my music and my inspirations because he lived in Mexico City. I think it was about 4 years with my mom because that's where my mom's from. Oh, so they did the whole long distance thing too, like repeating cycles. Yep. Yeah. So they did all of that, and he's got like a lot of Latin influences in his guitar playing, and like I love my dad's guitar playing. So if you hear a lot in our music, like we played with this band from Texas, and they came up to me and they were like, yo, you guys got that like Texas Latin groove going on, and my heart just melted. I was like, you guys get it, like seriously.
Yeah. Both of our parents were so my mom and dad were also musicians in the punk scene in New England in the 90s, and so I was raised on punk and all that stuff. Like, so they've always been super, super supportive of what we do. They're probably listening right now.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And to take the chance to, like you were talking about quitting the job and whatnot, now's the time to do it too, right? I mean, you're young and, I assume you don't have kids yet, right? No. Yeah, before you start the family and do all that, now's the time to do it because, you can afford to, at this point in your life. So yeah, now's the time to take that chance. And you've got a great thing going here. And like I said, the 5 of you getting together like this, it from what you told me, it shouldn't have worked out, but it did. So that's a great testament to what you're doing. We should. I was thinking we could play another studio track because. Because Martin, you were talking about, or Zoe, maybe you brought it up, but if you teach a bear to
dance, let me just make sure the lyrics to that are clean real quick. They should be.
I think they are because the nice thing about your Bandcamp is it has the lyrics.
It does
on it.
Yeah. There's no swears.
Yeah.
I mean, you're screaming anyways, so if somebody had like a good enough ear, maybe they could understand. But
I try not to be too sweary in our lyrics.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think I think I said to Jenny too. Didn't I say to you? I don't think there's any.
Yes.
Is this the band I was talking about? I don't think there's any swears, but even if there are, I can't understand them, so it doesn't matter.
This was that band. Yeah. Yes, it was.
All right, yeah, let's give this a listen because we were talking about it earlier. This is If You Teach a Bear to Dance, and the band has set the bar low. They're here with us in studio. Check this out. I love that ending. Very cool.
Traditional Bulgarian folk music.
Yeah, that's awesome. If You Teach a Bear to Dance is the name of the song. And of course, the band is Set the Bar Low. And we have Set the Bar Low with us here in studio. By the way, so we do have in the chat room Karen Harvey Olson, I assume.
That is my mother.
That's your mother. Very nice. Very nice that she's supportive. That's
extremely nice. Yeah.
That's awesome. Melanie, our friend Melanie La Liberty in the chat room said something about, oh yeah, she said, were you wondering what the blank happened to these guys as kids?
Well,
oh, that's funny. How do you describe your music for people who haven't heard it? Everyone always hates this question, but I'm just curious.
Yeah. So it depends. I usually just say like hardcore metal or punk. Just if people are like into the type of music and want more specifics, I'll say like depends. I don't know. We've only been a band for less than 3 years now, and I feel like we're only just kind of now starting to really establish what our sound is. Nowadays, I'd probably say we're just like a hardcore like metal or punk band. But
yeah,
in the earlier stuff, like we just heard, I would have said grindcore, which is like a specific subgenre of metal that is just very fast and very aggressive and over very quickly.
Yeah. Your songs, speaking of over very quickly, most of your songs are kind of short.
Yeah.
Is that by design, or does that?
So on the earlier stuff, I think it was definitely by design. On the new record, we kind of tried to have it be a little more traditional song length and structuring. The last song on the new record is 10 minutes long.
Oh wow!
And it's got like sections and and whatnot.
There's so many different instruments on it too.
Yeah, we recorded. I think I mentioned this earlier. We recorded this in a cabin in the middle of the woods in upstate New York that we rented. We brought all of our own gear in to record it ourselves.
Yeah,
and we brought every instrument we had. We brought a pump organ. banjos, 12-string acoustics,
cellos,
trumpets,
stylophone, every little like noise-making thing that we could find.
Pretty
in
much
the
everything
basement.
we own.
Wow.
And we brought it in and we tracked it. We set up 2 studio rooms in the cabin. We had Studio A and Studio B. Studio B was the bathroom, and that is where we would track all the acoustic instruments and all of the vocals in the shower.
Yeah.
And then Studio A was the living room, which is where we tracked all the guitars, bass, and drums.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on the new stuff, to answer your original question, I would say we kind of try and have it be a little more song length, but the quicker ones are just because we want to get to the point. When we play live, we like to be able to play as many songs as we can. So if every song's a minute long, we can play like 10 songs and it'll be 15 minutes.
We have interlude tracks too that are
Yes.
very like synth and pop, and I don't even know. It's just very different.
Yeah. Now, when is the new album supposed to be out? Is that
I believe June 14th. Is that
Okay.
right?
June
Yeah.
14th.
We have another
Okay.
single coming out May 10th. And then with a music video also shot and directed by Griffin Rompery. He has, if you guys listening want to check him out, he is available for video shoots and he is very good and he is just starting. So you should hit him up.
We love you, Quinn.
He's shooting our music video for that. And then we have another single in the beginning of June, right before the record. And then the record comes out. We'll have CDs. We're hoping to get tapes too.
no kidding?
Yep.
Yeah. The tape thing is interesting to me because I think it was probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago now. I was actually on Bandcamp and I was poking around. I was looking for local artists and I was stunned. I remember this moment vividly when I saw that someone was selling cassette tapes.
Yeah, it's a big thing these days
It's
again.
cool again.
Yeah, and then I was like, and then I realized a lot of people were doing it. I was like, oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I collect. Me and Martin, we have a pretty big like physical music collection, and like I just recently
She
went
has
to
a Walkman?
Savers. Yeah, I
Oh, no
bought a
kidding,
Walkman,
yeah.
but I
Cool.
went to Savers and I found like Slayer's first album, like the first release, and they go for a lot of money nowadays.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
pretty
can
crazy.
imagine. Yeah, it's interesting to see like what technology goes away and what technology sticks around.
Or when
Because
they go away and then come back.
yeah, exactly. Because it's very often it doesn't go the way everyone's predicting. Like years and years ago, I was a manager at a CD store, and CDs were supposed to be gone.
Yep.
At least a decade ago. People were saying there's not going to be any more CDs. It's all going to be digital media, but CDs are still.
Yeah,
hanging in
I love
there.
them.
And and vinyl, which of course never went away, but I think not only did vinyl have such an incredible resurgence, but I think it was 2022 maybe was
It outsold CDs.
it outsold
Yep.
CDs for the first time. Yeah.
Yep.
Just amazing. Of course, with vinyl, a lot of people too, they open it. I mean, they buy it and they never actually open it
Yeah.
because if it's an artist, they just want to collect
They
it.
just
if
collect it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now when does the tour start?
The first day of the tour is June 17th.
Okay.
18th.
It might be the 18th. I don't remember. It's the first date is in Columbus, Ohio. I think we're playing a laundromat.
Yeah.
It's a laundromat that also is a venue, I believe, and it's in Ohio. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is the first date of the U.S. tour. The first date of the run where we're going to Canada is May 30th.
In
We're
Vermont.
playing in Vermont. And then we're playing 2 dates in Quebec and then a date in Ontario.
Now, what do you rent a van or
So
do you have a van?
We
or
just
what
bought
do
a
you-
van.
Oh, you just bought a van.
12-seater van, yeah. We're going to rent a U-Haul trailer for our gear.
Yeah.
But we have a 12-seater van for Zoe and I just purchased it. And yeah, it's very nice. We've done tours before
Slept in it.
and in minivans.
Yeah.
And it was much less nice. The last tour that we did in Set the Barlow in January, we set it up. And this is very not okay. I don't recommend doing this.
Okay.
But we set it up the back of the minivan. We put the seats down and we loaded in gym mats. And 3 people just laid on the gym mats in the back of the van on top of. So we put the guitars down and then we put the mats on top of the guitar cases because they're hard shell. And then we loaded me and Zoe and Joel into the back of the van, and we just laid down and played Mario Kart for the
It's
duration.
very disorienting because you're like
Very.
sitting the wrong way, and then like I don't know if you've seen Joel and Martin, but they're very, very
Yeah, we're
tall.
tall.
So I had to like
Crunch
take
for
the like
hours.
side seat and just like keep to myself.
Yeah, but we did that, and it was not horrible, but we're never doing it again.
Yeah.
And we have a van now, so we never need to.
Yeah, no, it's smart though with the gym mats. That's a good idea. Well, let's. We are already approaching the top of the hour. It goes so quickly. We'll actually play one more. We can play one more studio track from State of Dissolution to wrap up the segment. But thank you. I appreciate all 5 of you coming in. This is great. I really enjoyed
course.
the live performance.
We appreciate you.
Anytime we have a banjo, that's cool. 'Cause that's something different, you know. Really, really enjoyed that a lot. Where should people go online to keep up with everything that you're doing?
So we have an Instagram. That's probably the most active. We also have a Facebook, but it's a little less active than the Instagram. We also have a YouTube where we have our music videos coming out, and we have some live shows on there. But predominantly Instagram is
What's
our
our
main
handle
tool.
for Instagram?
STBL_band on
Yeah.
Instagram.
I'm
Okay.
glad you remembered because I didn't.
I got you.
Excellent. Very good. And what should we finish off with here? We got.
Let me think. What's a good one that
Bees.
doesn't? No, don't do
There-
bees. Bees.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
There's
never mind.
definitely.
I forgot.
PFC.
bad stuff.
Profanity.
Like that.
We've got Nobody Suspects the Butterfly is the last track on the.
I think that one should be good.
I did listen to that one because I remember thinking I really like this one.
Yeah, as you said, nobody be able to tell either way, but I think it should be good.
Be safe.
And I do remember reading the lyrics because it's got the lyrics here
Yep.
on Bandcamp. And
I'm glad I did that because I don't.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, there you go.
I wish everyone did that. It would make it a lot easier when I'm trying to figure out, does this have any swears in it? But no, that's very, very cool. So yeah, so we'll finish with this. Nobody Suspects the Butterfly. Set the bar low. Thank you so much for coming in. This has been great. And
Thank you for having us.
absolutely. This is called Nobody Suspects the Butterfly. The band is Set the Bar Low.
butterfly. How come? Because nobody ever suspects the butterfly.